Good day, everyone. Welcome to our accounting research methods subject. So, this course will teach you how to think, analyze, investigate like a professional accountant. So, by the end of the semester, you will no longer just answer questions, you will create knowledge. So, what is a thesis or dissertation? So, a thesis is not just a long paper, it is a scientific investigation of a real problem. So you are not here to copy definitions, but you are here to identify an issue, analyze it, and propose solutions supported by evidence. So these are the following steps and chapters in a typical thesis or dissertation. So first is the identification of a problem, identify the issue, selecting a topic. That's under chapter 2. Identify the objectives of the study, review the literature previously written in the area, develop a hypothesis, testing the problem issue being researched, devising an appropriate research designs and methodology to test researchable hypotheses, after which you will collect data, apply appropriate methods of analysis to analyze the data, and then you present the results, and lastly is summarizing the research project and make the final concluding comments. So, expressing this in another way, the research should be able to clearly answer the following questions. So, first, what is the specific problem? Second, what have other researchers found or concluded about the problem? Third, how did you study the problem? Fourth is what did you find? And lastly, what do these findings mean? So the research and resulting dissertation should contribute to the total knowledge relating to the issue or the problem researched. Okay, so what a thesis must do? So a good thesis must be able to um, identify the problem, the specific problem. Second is thoroughly reviewing what others have done. So it refers to the review of related literature. And then what is your method in collecting the data? After which you will analyze results, and lastly is explain what they mean. So without this, you're not doing research, you're only writing. So as for the research process, research is a journey. So you cannot just jump straight to the conclusions. First, you have to find a problem, then you study what others say, you gather data, you analyze, and explain. So the key technique here is to start writing immediately. So don't mind with the mistakes along the way, because there's always time for revision and correcting the mistakes. Sometimes the hardest step is the beginning. So in case of the research, so we have to start writing immediately. So building up the thesis or dissertation from the beginning. So you write creatively, tell an interesting story, and at the same time, maintain a clear structure. So develop your ideas in a logical way and make sure that the reader can follow and easily observe such development. So you may also support arguments with different references or other sources to previous literature. So do not wait for everything to be perfect before writing because good researchers write while they think. So the next step is planning the research. So of course, successful students always plan their time. So without the schedule, research becomes stressful. So I know that you have other subjects, but you need to properly plan your research so that you will not it will not result into uh, cramming. Okay, so you plan the research, plan the activities, and the involved people or the involved members who will do those topics, those activities. So first, write the timetable. Okay, and also put deadlines. So don't also forget to leave some allowance for some revisions or overrun. So here's the outline as shown in table 1.1. So working with your supervisor. So as your research instructor, um, I am also tasked as your advisor for this paper. Okay. However, when you reach fourth year, I think you will have your own advisor aside from the subject teacher. So working with the supervisor or your advisor. So your advisor is your guide. So whatever major decisions you're going to make, so always consult with me. Okay? So you can always use the chat box or email for your urgent concerns. So keeping the records. So keep all your notes, articles, and data organized. So research without records is or will always result into chaos. Okay? So that's why record keeping is very important. So why do we research? So what are the benefits of writing a research? So the benefits actually is you will learn the following skills. So you have critical thinking, decision making, professional writing, and real world problem solving. So these skills are actually relevant when you later work for a company. Okay, so these are the same skills that you will need when you do your job later on. Okay, so aside from your intellectual competence, you need other skills for you to survive the corporate world. So most universities and colleges have regulations and guidelines for completing a dissertation. So these regulations will specify matters such as the deadline and the completion for your thesis. So they may also contain instructions on style of the dissertation, including the format, layout, and referencing system to be followed. So you may visit your program, the accountancy, and ask for the specific format that you're going to follow. So I believe St. Paul has a specific format for your thesis. Okay, you just need to follow those format and guidelines. So in identifying the research question, okay, so the hardest part actually of doing the research is choosing the right question. So your topic must be focused, measurable, and meaningful. So actually it's the hardest because you have to align your research topic with your interest, with your strengths, and of course the feasibility of conducting the study. So these are the primary considerations in choosing your topic. Okay, so you may start first with a general research area. So let's say accounting education, and then as for the research topic under that area, so the accounting ability of the male and female accounting students. And as for the specific research question, so you may write, are male accounting students better at accounting than female students? Okay. So when choosing a topic, you will notice how broad area becomes a specific question. So the research always starts in an ocean before it becomes uh, in an ocean of interest, in an ocean of topics. But later on, as you discuss with your group members, it becomes narrower until you reach the the most specific topic that you're going to pursue. Okay, so here are some of the suggestions. Okay, so per area, so you have the financial accounting, international accounting, management accounting, taxation, auditing, business ethics, accounting history, accounting education, and so on. So these are just suggestions, but of course you are always free uh, to go outside of these suggestions. So you just choose a topic that really interests you or that motivates you to continue or doing your research. So choose something that you are interested in. Second is the accessibility of data. So hindi ba siya mahirap i-access? Hindi ba mahirap yan itanong sa mga respondents? Participative ba sila? And lastly, last consideration is dapat matapos mo to on your schedule, on your own timeline. So as for the good research topic, so it should be clear, researchable, interesting, and of course testable. So kahit sinong researcher ang conduct ng research nyo, kaya nilang i-replicate yung study nyo. Okay? Okay, so the school uh, has its own research agenda. So for SPSPS, you may want to also venture into the following research agenda. So you have the quality and excellence, relevance and responsiveness, access and equity, effectiveness and efficiency, information and communication technology, and lastly is the environment. So as for the specific topics under each area, so under relevance, so you have the community needs, disaster risk management, and for the access and equity, your admission policy and retention, the marketing strategies. Then you have the effectiveness and efficiency. So it refers to the operation of the program or the school. So in relation to instruction, learning modality system, administrative support, services, and the performance in the board or bar exam. Okay. So aside from interest, so you have to base the chosen topic based on your strengths and the general area of accounting that you want to focus on. So, connections in the business world can also help in the conducting your research. So, if you have connections towards a specific industry, let's say banking industry, so you may want to pursue a research pertaining to that type of industry. So you may also replicate studies conducted in outside of your locality, and then you may want to replicate that study in your locality. So for example, there's a specific study conducted in Cebu, but you think that that study is very much relevant to your current situation, then you may replicate that study to your own locality. So at Leyte. So these are some of the practical considerations. The time that you can allocate for research and the effort of the student. Second is the availability of the resources in your library. So both the physical books and online database. Okay. So feel free to consult with your librarian as to the resources that you would need for your research. The next is the computing facilities. So is there an available ICT laboratory there where you can research? Fourth is the data sources and the access to data. So especially for case studies, so that's very experiential. So that's very unique to that business. Okay. So the question there is if you can access to that environment, or the management are very cooperative, very supportive of the research. So characteristics of a good research topic are the following. So first, again, it should be clear, researchable, interesting, and testable. So this is what I mentioned before, the summary of this presentation. So now let's come to the writing of a research proposal. So your proposal is your research plan. Okay. So for your subject, accounting research methods, so we will stop here in this part. Okay. So research proposal. So when you reach fourth year, then that's the time where you gather the data, uh, interpret, evaluate the findings, and present recommendation. But for as for the accounting research method, then we will stop at the methodology. So a very important part of the research is the literature review. So basically, it tells us what have other researchers discovered. So what are their findings? How did they conduct their study? Okay, what motivates them to conduct the study? Okay, so and how that their studies affect our current study, the direction of our study. So the nature and purpose of the literature review. So basically, the purpose of the literature review is it helps you avoid repeating the old ideas and find the research gaps. So it's very important that you know the research gaps because it is where you can come in to that. Okay, your research paper will fill that gap. So, for example, if the research uh, is very limited to a specific geography, let's say only one school, but you wanted the study to be uh, more broad. So let's say all the schools in Leyte. Okay. So that's where your research can come in. So filling in the research gaps. So so a literature review is very critical because if the literature review is conducted thoroughly, it will ease actually your research process. Okay, you will not have a hard time looking for a background of your study. You will know how to conduct your research, what methodology to use in terms of the findings. So, what findings will support your current findings? How will you interpret your findings? And the suggestions for recommendations. So all those literature review can actually help you not only in the chapter 2 or chapter 1 but in all parts of your study. Literature review is very critical. So what constitutes as literature? So you have a variety of publications. So you should dwell on looking for journals, academic and professional journals, especially related to accounting, the textbooks or books, different reports, and credible online sources. So, government agencies' websites can actually provide a lot of credible online sources. Okay, and as to the sources, so the sources of data, so you have the libraries. Okay, so you have the online databases. So again, please feel free to ask um, guidance from your librarian. So we have the internet or the World Wide Web. So when choosing the sources, you have to choose wisely. Okay, so which of the sources would give a lot of literatures in your current study. So these are just sample journals under accounting, but mostly these are international. So if you have subscription to a local accounting journal or a Philippine accounting journal, then that's a much better option. So because academic journals are the most reliable sources for research knowledge. So in reading the articles, you actually don't need to read everything. So you just need to read smart. So meaning you know how to skim the parts of their article. So some researchers they will only read the first part, the abstract and the findings and also the methodology. Okay, you may also opt to summarize an article. So with the use of citation, every claim must be supported. So whatever you quote in your paper, they should have a corresponding supporting reference. Okay, it should be written under the references section or the bibliography. Okay, and all ideas not from you, you should cite the authors because if you do not cite or you forget to cite them, then it's a case of plagiarism. So you don't want to be uh, we don't want to that to happen to us. So we don't want the other authors to file a plagiarism case to us because it will, of course, it will destroy our reputation and our credibility. Okay, so these are samples of how to cite. So basically, you can find the family names of the authors, including the year. Okay, so the thesis or dissertation should finish with a list of references relating to articles or papers. So a bibliography as opposed to list of references cites additional reading on the topic. So as for the referencing system, so we are actually using the APA style. I think that's the seventh edition. So APA style, seventh edition. And for easy referencing, you may visit this website, the citationmachine.net. Okay, so you don't need to manually format the reference. So the accounting research, so is becoming rigorous and scientific. So basically, the research is divided into two major methods. One is the qualitative, or the words or narrative description, and then second is the quantitative, or the numbers presentation. And in most researches, so this could be a combination of both qualitative and quantitative. Okay, so these are the difference between the two, so qualitative and the quantitative. So descriptive research is about the detailed analysis of accounting problems. So behavioral research examines the way people behave. So the focus of the study is the human behavior. So questionnaires. So this is the most used type of design, okay, or tools. So creating a questionnaire, research questionnaire. Okay, so what's the difference between the questionnaire and the survey? The survey is very short and very easy to answer, and always contains a yes or no response. So the surveys help collect data from many people. So unlike with the research questionnaire, so it contains a lot of questions, and the responses may not only be a yes or no answer. So if you are using questionnaires, so make sure that your questionnaire is very valid. So avoid biased questioning or questions that are leading to your own bias. So the question should be clear and should ask the right questions. So with the technology today, so you may uh, you may give the questionnaires to a lot of people using online technologies. So you have the Google form and um, other ways of disseminating it online. And the scope of the that online will may not only be explicitly limited to a specific area, let's say Leyte, but you can actually disseminate the questionnaires nationwide or even internationally. So, aside from the questionnaire, so another method being conducted by the researcher is conducting the interview. Okay, so although questionnaires give a lot of insights, but in understanding the responses, to have more insights or reflections from the responses, Conducting interview is also important, okay, because it allows a deeper understanding of their responses, and you can actually get an immediate response from the responses from the respondents. You can see their um, actions, their nonverbal cues, so helping you more understand their response. Then you have the survey research. So it's still a questionnaire based, but these are um, they are shorter. Then you have the laboratory experiments. So subjects are presented with information in which they're asked to make decisions similar to a real life decision. So just like in an experimentation, you control the variables. So there must be at least two groups. So one with the presence of the variable, and the other is without that particular variable. Then as to the field work or case studies, so the focus here is the problem or the practices of that organization or situation. Okay. So you may only focus on one organization, but your analysis must be deep, that it will also affect other um, other businesses in that same industry. So for example, you are conducting a case study for St. Paul's School of Professional Studies in terms of their admission policy. So your insights from your the presentation of that case study may also be may also reflect the challenges of other schools who have their own admission policies. Then you have the accounting models, empirical research. So these are more this research is used by the social sciences. Okay. So accounting belongs to the social sciences. So so the variables here are not entirely controlled. Okay. Because sometimes it's not easy to control some variables. And some variables may also be difficult to measure. So it's more scientific and testable. So it also uh, gives also an hypothesis, such as if there are relationship between two or more variables, or no relationship at all. Okay, so some researchers suggest that the hypothesis is better stated in positive than in null form, but of course, it depends on the situation, or it depends on the research, because some studies may have, based on their findings, may be more on the negative than a positive findings. So better use the null hypothesis. So we say null hypothesis, meaning there's no relationship, or there's no significant relationship between the two or more variables. We say positive relationship, then there's a relationship between the two and more variables. So a hypothesis is an educated guess that you will need to test. Okay, these are just some of the research questions and methodology. So a good characteristic of hypothesis. So that's 1 to 8. It should be testable. Second, in harmony with existing knowledge. Third is parsimonious. Fourth is relevant to the research problem or question of interest. Fifth is susceptible to quantification. Sixth, yield a large number of consequences. Logical and simple, number seven. And lastly, it's general in scope. For the data for research, so data can be categories or rankings and measurements. Okay, so the data is divided into two major groups: the primary data and the secondary. So we say primary data, it is the author or the researchers who collected first the data. Okay, and secondary data meaning others already generated the data and is given to the secondary user or the researcher. So data, for example, from the PSA or from the different government agencies. So these are already secondary data. But when you conduct an interview or disseminate questionnaires, so the data that you get from those are primary data. So methodology. So different topics and issues being researched or require different methodologies. So we have discussed this in the earlier presentations. So if you are creating a questionnaire for the first time, so it is much better to pilot test your study first, your questionnaire first, on a small sample before you give it to the general population or to the bigger uh, number of respondents. So conducting a pilot study will actually help you modify your questionnaire or understand if the respondents were able to understand your questions or uh, the questions are too long for them to answer. So you can get their feedback. And on your end also, you would identify issues like um, the responses are hard to interpret or evaluate. Then you can modify your questionnaire accordingly before giving it to the to the larger sample size. So the statistics can actually help us see patterns and relationships. So, so a statistical analysis is only feasible when there are sufficient data to enable statistical conclusions to be validly made. So that's why the responses and the questionnaire must be valid and reliable. So the data is categorized into the following. So you have the nominal. So according to categories, you have the ordinal. That's according to the rank. And there are also parametric and non-parametric tests, statistical tests. So we say parametric, it assumes that the data are distributed normally. The non-parametric test makes no assumption about the behavior of the data. So univariate, meaning only one variable. Bivariate is two variable, and multivariate test means multiple variables or more than two variables. So these are the specific statistical tests. So for the univariate, bivariate, and multivariate. So with the advancement of technology, so we have computer softwares that can actually help us. So even if we're not statistics graduate, but if the school has a software that we can use for statistical analysis, so such as the SPSPS or the statistical package for the social sciences and other softwares, research software, so this can actually help us in conducting our statistical analysis. Then as to the results, so do not dump data. So you should reflect thoroughly what those data mean. So you should be able to clearly explain that to your readers and panelists. Okay. And as to the analysis or the interpretation of results, so always compare it with the previous literature or compare it with the past studies and explain why the results happen. Okay, you should be creative in the presentation of results. So you make use of the tables and mga visual, okay, the graphs and charts to better explain your findings or results. So in writing your research or thesis, it should be logical, clear, and well organized. Okay, so always refer to the format given by the school. So that's the format and the guidelines that you are going to follow in submitting your both your soft copy and hard copy. Okay, so the first chapter is probably the most difficult and but it is also the most important part. So the final chapter is so the body. So then the final chapter. So this is where you tell the final story of your research. So it's essentially a summary and conclusion of all the chapters preceding it. So sometimes researchers will have a hard time conducting this or writing this final chapter because the final chapter should give justice to all your hard work, to all your efforts you put in this research. So you're from the understanding the background of the study to the research methodology to review of related to literature to collecting the data. So this final chapter should encapsulate and give meaning to what you have done for the in your research just to give the presentation. So this is where you tell the final story of the research. For the referencing, so always acknowledge the sources. So in academic papers, so it's a golden rule to always acknowledge sources. So if it's not your idea, write quotation marks. So cite the proper authors and the year of publication. So do not commit plagiarism. So especially that schools nowadays have their own anti-plagiarism software. So if your paper contains a certain percentage of plagiarized, so let's say 10% or 20%, then all your efforts will be wasted because it will not be accepted by the program. Then you have the appendices. So these support your study but are not part of the main story. So these are just supporting. So it it contains your biodata, your questionnaire, research questionnaire, and all other requests, letters of consent, okay, and so on. So as to the methods of presentation, specifically as to your writing style, so just write clearly, avoid complicated words, so mga highfalutin words as much as possible should not be used. If there's a simpler word, then you use that. And lastly, be professional. Okay, be professional in your writing style. So use always the passive tone or the passive voice, and um, the researcher should not be addressed as I or you, but always use the third person, like the researchers, okay, or them, the authors, or whatever. But do not use the word we, I, you, okay, because it's a no for a professional paper. As to the layout and format, so good formatting makes your work readable and professional. So again, always refer to the school's prescribed format. So these are just some of the recommendations to improve your writing. So it is always in a professional and business-like tone. So again, use the passive voice, use only the plain language, and keep the sentences short. Okay, so additional recommendation or suggestions. So styles of presentation, the length and format. So again, refer to the format prescribed by the St. Paul School of Professional Studies. So present the tables and figures. So when you're presenting table, so the table number and the title should be on top of the table, not under the table. So on top of the table, let's say table number one, gender. Okay. So distribution of the results. But if you are presenting the figures, so the title of that figure, let's say figure one, research paradigm. So it should be below that figure, not on top of the figure. So again, for table, write the table title and the number on top of the table. And for the figure number and the title of that figure should be under the figure. Okay. So as for the final reminders, so in producing the final document, so always leave plenty of time at the end of the production process. So once you are done with the writing, so you should also have allocate time for proofreading. So reading your paper twice or thrice, or let somebody read the paper so that they can also correct. Okay. You may also ask the expertise from, let's say, English majors, okay, or your classmates who have a very good grammar. Okay. So have others check the paper first, okay, before you can uh, print and put a page number. So as for the suggestion, do not yet put numbers and table of contents. So it should be done once you are done with our writing, and if there's already no revision. Okay. So congratulations and welcome to the world of researchers. So your journey starts today. Okay. So happy writing, everyone.